Good evening to all of you. Okay, last week we had a discussion on blood circulatory system and the longitudinal section of the heart. Anatomy. Anatomy of the human heart. Then you learned there are 4 chambers of the heart and how they are filled with blood, with the circulation. This upper 2 chambers of the heart. The left ventricular wall is somewhat thicker than the wall of the ventricle of the heart in right side. Right atrium, left atrium, left ventricle, right ventricle. And blood is brought to the heart by superior and inferior vena. So here's the superior vena cava. Right. Today we have to know the process of blood circulation. First, we have to state that the first step, how this blood is filled to the heart. Subtopic: process of blood circulation. Yes. Imagine there's a tissue in your body. Tissue means a group of cells with a common origin and specified to perform a certain function or functions of your body. Imagine these tissue cells may be in your legs, your hands, or maybe in your brain. Right. And we have to supply the nutrients required for them and oxygen. So this is done by, so this aorta or systemic artery, that oxygenated blood is given. Right. You learned that anatomy of blood vessels. So here's the artery. Artery is divided into arterioles. Artery is divided into arterioles, and this arterioles finally divided into a network of capillaries. Right. Then these tissue cells can get oxygen and nutrients. And after the utilizing in the process of cellular respiration and all other metabolic activities, what happens? Carbon dioxide and some unwanted excretory products are produced. And they have to be taken away from the body, and carbon dioxide is to be sent towards the lungs. Then it is taken by these capillary and next venules. From the venules, it is taken by a main vein. So set of veins like this, veins, you know that vein brings blood towards the heart. Through these veins, lower parts of the body, the deoxygenated blood is brought towards the heart by this inferior vena cava, and upper parts of the body, that deoxygenated blood is brought towards the heart by superior vena cava. So we have to state that right here. Utilized blood by the tissues. Yes, what is used? Mainly oxygen and nutrients. Yes, utilized blood by tissues is with deoxygenated blood, and it is brought towards the heart. It is brought towards the heart by inferior and superior vena cava. Into the right atrium. Right atrium of the heart. Then the deoxygenated blood is transferred to the right ventricle with the contraction of these atriums through the tricuspid valve. With the contraction of arteria, arterial contraction. We call that systole, right? With the contraction of arteria, that deoxygenated, the deoxygenated blood is sent towards the right ventricle across the tricuspid valve. Across the tricuspid valve. Then for the oxygenation, this deoxygenated blood is sent towards the lungs through this artery. What's that artery? That artery is called pulmonary artery because it brings blood towards the lung. Deoxygenated blood is then sent towards lungs for the oxygenation. For the oxygenation through pulmonary artery. Through the pulmonary artery. Through the pulmonary artery. Right. After the oxygenation, what happens? The blood is brought towards the heart. Through pulmonary veins. This vein is special. This is the only vein that consists of oxygenated blood, while all other veins are having deoxygenated blood. So we indicate that oxygenated blood with the red color. Last week also I described that, but we did not write it. We just concern our attention only to this anatomical things, right? Okay. Oxygenated blood is brought towards the heart, actually the right auricle or atrium of the heart, towards the right atrium. So that's left, right, left, left. left atrium of the heart through the pulmonary veins. Yes, then what happens? Then it is sent towards the left ventricle across or by opening across the left ventricle and auricle. In between that what exists? Bicuspid valve. Across the bicuspid valve. Across the bicuspid valve. Then with the ventricular contraction or with the process of systole, the upper one is diastole and the systole. Diastolic and systolic bicuspid valve. Good. With the contraction of ventricles, that oxygenated blood enters to this aorta, opening that semilunar valves. Oxygenated blood enters into oxygenated blood enters into the aorta, opening the semilunar valve and it is distributed throughout the whole body with the high pressure. With the high pressure, provided by yes, you can see this highly thickened wall of the left ventricle. So that's because of this myocardium is thicker. It consists large amount of cardiac muscles. That's why it can provide that huge pressure, as it's enough to send this blood throughout the body. The lower part of the body is send this oxygen blood through this aorta is turning down. It comes here, and here you can see supplying blood to the upper parts of the body through these arteries. The pressure provided by thickened wall containing large amount of cardiac muscles in the myocardium of left ventricle. So this is the overall circulation. Initially, is upper two chambers contract. We call that diastole. Then what happens? We can see the contraction of lower two chambers and relaxation of upper two chambers. So we call that diastole, diastole and systole. So this diastolic pressure and systolic pressure. It's 70 to 80 mercury centimeters. And here systolic pressure is around 110 to 120 mercury centimeters. So when you check the blood pressure, usually they give us a range between that 80 to 120 කියලා range value දෙකක් දෙනවා. That's not the pressure in between 80 to 120. So this gives the lower pressure of diastolic pressure, and systolic pressure is somewhat higher because of this contraction of this lower two chambers. It gives that 120. Then your blood pressure consists mainly two. That's diastolic pressure and systolic pressure. Sometimes this is varies with the people and some bad health condition, high blood pressure. Sometimes this diastolic pressure also increases, sometimes it is decreases, and weakening that decreases. Today, participants, quickly type your name. Ickmanta nama type karan. Again. Quickly type your name again. All right. Thank you. පුතාලගේ WhatsApp අපේ group එකේ තියෙන WhatsApp number එකත් ඔහොම type කරන්න මට විතරයි පේන්නේ. Because although I know some numbers, the coordinator don't know that. If coordinators know, I don't know them. Recently you have changed your numbers. Like there are another yes, the WhatsApp number that's in our group, right? අපේ group එකේ තියෙන. It's another 4. තව 4 දෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා type කරන්න. So if you don't forget, that take time, right? Because in this group there are lots of students. If I get at previous video I have published no one viewed that. Right, hereafter you have to request for the video, right? Okay, so this overall process of the blood circulation. Right, next we are going to learn about blood. Now, circulation part is okay. The rest of the things under this lesson, the circulation, you can learn that in grade length. If you centrifuge blood by using a centrifuger, you can see this blood sample is more than 55. So that's around 55, right? 55. Around 55% is blood plasma. Yes, if you consider that's 100%, the total, yes, 45% is blood corpuscles. When you centrifuge that, that's solid part. That's 45%. So this amount is 55%. That's blood plasma. blood cells, blood corpuscles, rest of the things. Subtopic, blood plasma. Blood consists mainly two parts, blood corpuscles and blood plasma. Right, we are going to study about this blood plasma. Mainly water and soluble things. Water. Next. End products of the food digestion. ආහාර ජීර්ණ මාර්ගයේදී අවශෝෂණය කරගන්න end products of the food digestion. End products of the food digestion. That means from carbohydrate, glucose. Yes, by the different sugars, like when you get sucrose, its end product is glucose, fructose, and another monosaccharide, galactose. Yes, another end product of the food digestion, that's by proteins, amino acids. Yes, end product of the digestion of the food, lipids, fatty acids and glycerols. Fatty acids and glycerols. Vitamins. So those are the end products of the food digestion. Another one, dissolved gases. Dissolved gases. Although oxygen is transported through the red blood cell by hemoglobin, attached hemoglobin as oxyhemoglobin, but here what happens, dissolved gas like carbon dioxide, it's dissolved in blood plasma and bicarbonate ions, carbon dioxide, right? Another one, excretory products. Blood plasma consists of excretory products, urea, uric acid, creatine. So they have to be transported towards that excretory organs. Excretory products, urea, uric acids, creatine, like excretory products. As well as, yes, in our blood, we consist again another, so you can continue that. Hormones. Hormones are also in your blood plasma. Another one, plasma proteins, very important. Plasma proteins. So you have to keep that in your mind. These plasma proteins, albumin, globulin, and fibrinogen. Albumin, globulin, fibrinogen, this plasma protein exists in blood plasma. All right. Next, we are going to study that blood corpuscles. That means blood cells. Mainly three types. Red blood cell. That means erythrocytes. Yes, biconcave shape. If you cut that longitudinally, you can see that like this. Biconcave shape. Red blood cell, erythrocytes, consists red color pigment protein called hemoglobin. That's protein, hemoglobin. That consists, heme means iron, Fe ferrous iron, and globin means globular protein. Iron containing protein. The blood corpuscle, white blood cell. Next type, white blood cell. Like erythrocytes, the name given to this white blood cell is leukocytes. Leukocytes. Mainly two types. Granulocytes and agranulocytes or non-granulocytes. Granulocytes, again, three types. Granulocytes, again, three types. Neutrophil. Neutrophils, eosinophils, and basophils. Non-granulocytes, two non-granulocytes there. White blood cell of Kompahai. Yes, one is granulocyte. There are three types of granulocytes: neutrophils, eosinophils, and basophils. Non-granulocytes, lymphocytes, and monocytes. Lymphocytes and monocytes. So these neutrophils, eosinophils, you can identify them. They have segmented nucleus. Non-granulocyte lymphocytes can be identified. It has lymphocytes consist very big nucleus, very large nucleus in lymphocytes. Nucleus is very big, not like the small nucleus. So this hemoglobin containing erythrocyte, no nucleus. No nucleus. You will think this is a nucleus. No, this is not the nucleus. That's the nature of that biconcave nature. That's why you can see this kind of, it's like peppermint toffee, right? Lymphocyte. And the monocytes, this big kidney shape nucleus is there. So that's monocyte. So they are the white blood cells. Now you know there are white blood cells, and you can see another type of actually this is not a cell fragment. Cell fragments of megakaryocytes producing red bone marrow. Megakaryocytes කියන ලොකු cell එකකින් amoeboid cell එකකින් කැඩිලා බිඳිලා යන cutie packet වගේ structure එකක්. That's the next type of blood corpuscle. We call that platelet. Platelets. I think you have heard that. Platelet count is decreasing, so that's so dangerous. Yes, in dengue virus, viral attack. So you can see that platelets. Yes. Erythrocytes, leukocytes, likewise, it has another name called thrombocytes. 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 Small cell fragments. Yes. What exists inside this? Yes, thromboplastin. The enzyme is existing there. When it is broken, it comes out and starts the process of blood coagulation. තුවාලයක් වුණාම ලී කැටි ගහන එක පටන් ගන්නෙ මෙන්න මෙයා break down වුණාම එන enzyme එකේ. That enzyme is coming out. It starts the coagulation of blood in injuries. In injuries only, right? If that blood coagulation happens in the circulation, it's very harmful. It blocks the arteries and veins, then it is a bad thing, right? The thrombocytes, very important. Here we require vitamin K and calcium ions. They are helpful for this blood coagulation in the process of injuries to avoid bleeding. Legal and economic. Okay, so let's move on. That's all about the brief introduction of the blood. What is consisting there? Right. Now we are going to study the functions of main functions of this blood. Main functions of the blood. Yes, stepwise and different parts of the blood. So what are the functions of them? Let's study. Red bloods. Transportation of oxygen as oxyhemoglobin. Yes, that happens in lungs as hemoglobin plus oxygen. Oxyhemoglobin, that's a reversible reaction. HbO2 oxyhemoglobin. And when it requires again, reverse reaction occurs near tissues, then tissues can get oxygen and hemoglobin coming back to the heart. Red blood. White blood. White blood. So what's the function of this white blood? For the defense. F, okay, not P, defense of the body from infections. Yes, they can engulf. This is causative microorganism. We're going to discuss the microorganism. I'll give in the pulva. Engulf. This is causal organism. Or they can make antibodies against. Making antibodies. So that's how they perform white blood. Next, platelet. Stop bleeding in injuries. By the clotting. By the clotting of blood. And we require Ca2 plus and vitamin K is required for that. Required additionally. Platelet vitamin K right? So they are the functions of blood corpuscles. It's a function of blood, plasma. Plasma function. Functions of the plasma is transportation of carbon dioxide or transportation of CO2. So in that case, there's an excretory product, CO2, and other excretory products from tissues to excretory organs. From tissues to excretory organs. From tissues to excretory organs. Yes, another function of plasma, transportation of nutrients. This means end products of the food digestion. Transport of nutrients, minerals, and vitamins. Transportation of, yes, you know that hormones exist there. Hormones, enzymes, medicines. It consists of plasma proteins and other proteins. Enzyme is also protein and proteins. Right. Next, we are going to study a very big and very important topic. That's blood transfusion. Yes, transference, blood transfusion කියන්නේ මොකක්ද කියලා ලියාගන්න. Yes, transfusion is the transference. Transference of blood from one person to or one individual, one person to another is known as the blood transfusion. Transference of blood from one person to another is known as the blood transfusion. Yes, it involves two persons. Then medical. One is a donor. Two individuals involved. Two individuals involves donor and recipient. Donor and recipient. So what does it mean by the donor? The person who donates blood. Recipient, the person who receives blood. The person who receives blood is called the recipient. Right. So next, theory part is very important. Actually, we have to continue next day as well. That's blood groups or types of blood. So we call that compatibility of blood group. This means types of blood group. Suitability, compatibility, right? So we have to check whether the blood group is suitable before donating. If not, what happens? Agglutination occurs, and so we are going to save someone's life. But if that blood group is not compatible with the blood group of the patient, yes, he will die. බියර ගන්න කියලා මරලා දානවා වගේ වැඩක් තමයි වෙන්නේ. වැරදි බ්ලඩ් ගෲප් එකක් දුන්නොත් එයාගේ ඇඟ ඇතුලේ රුධිර කැටි ගෙහිලා ගලන්නේ නැතුව කැටි ගෙහිමට ලක් වෙලා මේ යන්න පුළුවන්. right? Compatibility of blood groups. There are 4 major blood groups. There are 4 major blood groups. Yes. Blood group A. Next one, blood group B. Third one, what's that? C? No, that's AB. Yes. Next, blood group O. Yes. Based on different types of blood groups, why do you name them as blood group A, B, AB, and all like that? Because so they have antigen. Antigen. Yes. Blood group A consists antigen E. Blood group B consists antigen B. Blood group AB consists of both A and B. Blood group O does not have that blood group. Antigen, no antigen there. No antigen. And we have to consider another sub blood groups based on the factor rhesus. දැන් මේවා ගැලපුණත් පසු කාලේ මේ කෙටි ගෙහින්න ගත්තා. I'm going to donate my blood group O to AB. It doesn't matter. But what happens if my blood group is A, I'm going to give that blood group to a person with A. People don't know about the rhesus factor in those days. And agglutination occurs. Ketty ගෙහින්න ගත්තා. Because ඒගොල්ලෝ හිතුවා මොකක්ද හේතුව? What's the reason behind that? So then they found another antigen. We call it rhesus factor. Existence of rhesus factor. Then with rhesus factor. Rhesus කියලා වඳුරු වර්ගයකින් තමයි හොයාගත්තේ. With the help of that experiment, we come across there's another factor caused to the agglutination. Ketty ගෙහිමට හේතු තවත් factor තියෙනවා. That's with rhesus factor we call it positive, right? If it absence we call this negative. Therefore, blood group A consists A positive and A negative. B positive, B negative. AB positive, AB negative. And O positive, O negative. Right. First, let's see the compatibility of main blood groups irrespective of the races. The races නොසලකා ගැලපෙනවද කියලා බලන්න. Blood group A, blood group B, blood group AB, blood group O, right? Like that. Right. Next, compatibility is checked. So most of the students confuse this. Now let's check the compatibility of the main blood groups. A, the other one is AB, B, AB, and O. Blood group A consists antigen A, B consists antigen B. AB consists both A and B. O consists no antigens. Right. Imagine here's the AB can receive blood from anyone else. So therefore it's called universal recipient. So this AB is called universal recipient. Or can give blood to anyone else containing the main blood group A, B, AB. So that's a universal donor. Universal donor. Imagine in all other instances, in all the classes you are participating, they are not discussing this main and key facts, right? You have to climb this. You have to climb. ඔයාලට වෙන කොහෙද ගියොත් මේ කටපාඩම් කරන්න වෙන්නේ මේ කියලා දෙන්නේ කටපාඩම් කරන්නේ logically මේක තේරුම් ගන්න විදිය. So you can understand this logically, right? No one will tell them about this B and antigens ගැන කවුරුත් කතා කරන්නේ. Imagine you are going to give blood to blood group the person consists in A. ඒටම දෙන්න පුළුවන්. It doesn't matter. B can give to a person with blood group B. AB also can give blood to a person consisting AB. තමන්ගේ වර්ගෙම තියෙන කෙනෙකුට දෙන්න පුළුවන් කිසිම ගැටලුවක් නැහැ. O can give to a person with the blood group O. As this is universal recipient, it can get blood from anyone else. කාගෙන් උනත් ගන්න පුළුවන් මේක. Universal recipient. From O, yes, that's possible. From B, yes, that's possible. Why? AB to හුරුයි antigen AB. B ගේ තියෙන B A දැක්කම ඒට හිතෙන්න පුළුවන් මට ගැලපෙන්නේ නැති කෙනෙක් එහෙනම් කැටි ගස්සවන්න ඕනේ. ඒත් B කියනවා මේ මම වගේ මේ කෙනෙක් නේ ඉඩ දෙන්න කියලා. It doesn't matter, right? But what happens if you try to give blood from B to A? A කියන රෝගියාට B දෙන්න ගියොත් හරි මේ blood වල ඉන්න B නුහුරුයි මෙයාට. එයා foreign matter එකක් විදිහට දකින්න. You remember when foreign matter comes to your body, how your body reacts to them. You learned that in the lesson of antigen antibody complex. It makes antigen antibody complex. I mean, you remember that lesson, right? Microorganism logan palani padami giladu. Therefore, yes, this universal donor, it can give blood to anyone else. Look at this. It gives blood to B, it gives blood to A. කිසිම ආගන්තුකයෙක් ඒකේ නැහැ. නේද? වතුර දුන්නා වගේ හැමෝටම දෙන්න පුළුවන්. Right, okay. So this is yes, Ushin. So how are the electrical impulses generated in the heart? So that's called Budeme. Closer to the superior vena cava, we can see nervous node called SA node. Sinoherth Karnika Gati, single SA node. It can generate self impulses, not with the support of the brain. These nerve impulses are generated and it goes through this other nervous. So this means through the muscle tissue inside this. That's how it generates auto-generated nerve pulses. That's why when someone's heart is not working, we can give that's nerve impulses externally, then this SA node start working, right? So the electric impulse generating the yes. So how are the same question, right? So yeah, here is school class. Okay. අද ඉඳන් පුතාලා අහගන්න මෙතනින් පස්සේ lesson පොඩ්ඩක් grade 9 නෙමෙයි වෙනවා grade 11 mode එකට එන්නේ. right? grade 11 lessons තමයි මෙතනින් පස්සේ තියෙන්නේ. Now they are not in grade 11, so they have මේ පාඩම grade 11 තිබ්බේ. මේ දාලා තියෙනවා. right? ඉතින් ඊට පස්සේ එනවා grade 10 වල තිබිලා ඔය අයියලා අක්කලාට අමාරුයි කියලා grade 11 third term එකට දාපු lesson එකක් අපිට තියෙනවා. තව පාඩම් දෙකකින්. දැන් මම කියන්නේ electrolysis electrochemistry කොටස. ඉගතයි කැමතිද? පෙන්නන්නම් බැරි පාඩම හුඟක් ළමයින්ට. ඉතින් මගේ පන්ති හුඟක් ආපුවා ඉන්නවා 11 වසරේ මේ electrolysis මම දාලා තියෙන free class එකක්. free session එකක් දාලා තියෙන ඔන්න ඉන්ටර්නෙට් එකේ ඒක බලලා ආපුවා හුඟක් ඉන්නවා. ඉතින් මම දැන් ඔයාලගේ හැසිරීමත් එක්ක බලපුවා මගෙත් එච්චර නෑ අනුකම්පාවක් අද මේ හුඟක් අයට මම chat උත් off කරලා තිබ්බේ දැන් ඔයාලට mic on කරන්න බෑනේ ඔයාලා mic on කරන්න ඒකින්ද මම ඒක off කරලා දැම්මා එතකොට මේක හරියට වීඩියෝ ක්ලාස් එකක් මට හිතුණා අනිත් දවසේ මම ක්ලාස් එක වීඩියෝ කරලා රියල් ටයිම් මේ ටයිම් එකේ ඔයාලට බලන්න ඔටෝ ප්ලේ වෙන්න දාලා ස්ට්‍රීම් වෙන්න දාලා මම මගේ වැඩක් කරනවා තේරුණා නේද ඒකින්ද පුතා මේ බොහොම පරිස්සමට ඉගෙන ගන්න හරි පලාතුරකින් හම්බෙච්ච පන්තිය රැක බලා ගන්න හරි අර සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඕනෑම තැනක වැඩිපුර ඉන්නේ පව් කරන්නේ වැඩිපුර ඉන්නේ පව් කරන්නේ කුණු ගොඩ කියලා තියෙනවා මම දැන් හරි අඩුයි මේ ලෝකෙ හරි ඉතින් අමාරුවෙන් හම්බෙච්ච ක්ලාස් එක රැක ගන්න ඔකේ 100ක් 200ක් වියදම් කරන්න බැයි නම් මයික් එකක් හදාගන්න ඒක වැඩකුත් නෑ මයික් නෑ කියන්නේ දෙන්න එපා මේ තේරුණා නේද ඔය ෆෝන් එකක ගෙදර තියෙන මොකක් හරි ෆෝන් එකක් ඔකට ප්ලග් කරලා ගන්න ඒක මයික් එකක් විදිහට යූස් කරන්න පුළුවන් ඒක බැයි නම් ඔයාලගේ මේ යුගයේ ළමයිනුත් නෙමෙයිනේ ඔයාලා ICT පොඩ්ඩක් මේ නැත්නම් දැන නැත්නම් ඔයාලා මේ සමාජයට ගැලපෙන්නේ නැහැ ඔයාලා තේරුණා නේද හරි මොඩෙක් ගන්න තමයි ගණන් ගන්න පන්ති කියලා බලන්න ෆෝන් එකේ තියෙන මයික් එක හරි කරගන්න දෙන්නේ කම්පියුටර් එකට නැත්නම් මට යූස් කරන්න තේරෙන්නේ මයික් එක එහෙම කියන්නේ මොකද වෙන්නේ බෑ ඔතන 10ක් 15ක්වත් වලට උ කියනවා හරිද ඒ කමන්නේ ඒක විඳින්න ඕන මම දන්නේ කමට වැඩිය මේ දැනුම හොයන්න නැතිකම right so you have to work that එතකොට මේ මමත් කියලා දීලා දිනවා කඩේකට ගිහිල්ලා මයික් එකක් හදාගෙන ඕකට මේ 1000 2000 දෙන්න ඕනේ මයික් එක හරි මමත් මේ පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ මේ ඇත්තටම කියනවා නම් මේ රුපියල් 1500 ක තමයි මයික් එකක් මේ පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ හොඳට නේද ඔකේ නේද right okay so this universal donor universal recipient so these things this stuff you have to know and next day we are going to learn that with the rhesus factor how it becomes A positive and A negative so compatibility so you have to check okay then blood group එක දන්නවද you know your blood group right you have to check it okay we are going to stop here so next day so I'll teach you how to give answers whether it is suitable whether it is compatible for a certain recipient when you're going to donate blood so that's without agglutination right let's stop here so thank you so much for the participation have a nice night God bless you